Okay, you ready? I'm always asking, like, are you ready? Hello and welcome to our 24th episode of Gedanken im Mixer. Hello and welcome everybody, and hello and welcome our guest, Edwin Mangate. Nice to have you here. Edwin, could you introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do?
Thank you, Adrian. My name is Edwin Mangate, as Adrian has said, and I am an artist. I am a professional artist. When I say artist, I mean a professional acrobat. Coming all the way from Africa, from a country called Kenya, in the city of Nairobi. And I'm here to perform and to do shows around Germany, and it's an amazing experience in all my career. Being 43 years old, I mean, I'm still doing shows on stage, so it's amazing to be here with my friend here, and tell him about my life, tell him about my experiences, tell him about how and why I'm doing this and why I'm passionate about this amazing thing that I do.
Yeah, very cool, very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really nice to have you here, and that you just came, and you're ready to do this interview for our podcast. It's very important information for everyone else. Me and Maxime will talk about this interview afterwards. So just for you, my first question, because it's like for me it's the most important question, because we are talking about this like over the whole year, like every year. We know each other since 2015 now. It's been 8 years. And you're one of my best friends. And I think the one that is the farthest away from, pop and come here in Germany. And I've always wondered, because I've never visited you until today in Kenya. How is the life? How is you have the best in comparison, like between Hanover and Kenya, and how is the life when you come back? How do you live in Nairobi, right?
Well, that is a good question. It's a very good question, because the life in Germany and the life in Kenya are very different. When you talk about the culture, when you talk about the way of life, perspectives are very different. So I've lived both lives, and I've seen both experiences. And what I can say is that there's a very big difference in terms of culture, especially the culture, the way of life, the way people perceive what is important to them versus what is not important. For example, the things that you take for granted here, in my place, are very important. Things like, okay, for you guys, time is very important. Like, you're always checking your time.
Yeah.
But okay, from where I come from, it's not such a big deal. Like,
Okay.
we agreed to meet at 4. I can come at 4:30 or 5 and say, I was late. So it's a big cultural difference, and of course the food as well. When you talk about culture, we talk about the food and the social aspect.
What would you say? Better, worse, or is it just different?
Well, I don't want to get attacked online by some, but I mean, it's a free show. Yeah, the food, it depends. Like, for example, when I come to Germany, I have to carry certain recipes of mine, because when I come here, I usually cook a lot. When I come with my team, we usually cook a lot.
I cook a lot of rice and chicken.
Yeah.
As I saw.
Yeah, there's rice. Okay, there's one specific Kenyan delicacy called ugali.
Mm-hmm.
So ugali is made of maize and maize flour.
Yeah.
So this is very important. The way bread is important to you guys, like potatoes.
Yeah.
Is this potato or potato?
Potato.
Okay. We call it potato. So
you call it potato?
Yeah.
And it's tomato?
Tomato.
For real? It's tomato.
I think you're saying it wrong. Anyway, yeah.
You're saying tomato?
Yeah, we say tomato.
No jokes.
No jokes.
Okay.
So we say, yeah. So so such things. You carry such things from home, and when you come here, you incorporate them in your diet. So it's I can say that there's that cultural difference and social difference. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, the issue of respect. When we talk about the social aspect,
mm-hmm.
respecting your elders. When I get into a train and I see an old person walking in, my first thing is to stand, like,
mm-hmm.
hey. But it's different here.
It depends on the people.
Yeah. So I mean, there's that big difference, this cultural difference, and social, economic, and political. Like, in my country, politics is a very important thing. Mm-hmm. Everybody is following politics, like what is happening politically. But yeah, here many people are not very very serious. Okay, it depends, but like it's not very passionate for them. Yeah. So that is from my own observation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I would say those are some of the differences that I've seen when coming here, and compared to my home country.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. So the thing with politics is it's strange in Germany, because most of the time it's always an extreme. You don't have, like, somewhere in the middle. You don't have people that says, oh yeah, okay, I don't care, or it's okay, fine by me. Because there are some people, I don't know if you heard it, it's a pretty new thing, that people are gluing themselves to streets. You've heard of it? You haven't. It's I will show you a video later. There are people that want to stop car traffic on the street, because of the environment, because of the engines and all this stuff. Yeah. So some of these they're always younger people, started to glue themselves to streets. And the people then sit on the street and are glued. They glue their hands to the street. So the how do you call it? Firefighters. So the firefighters need to come and need to rescue them. And the police as well. Yeah, the police doesn't have the things. Yeah, and the police needs to save them. Yeah, they are not allowed to. Well, in some countries in Germany, they of course are a bit rough. Some people even take them and throw them away and get aggressive. I mean, I can understand, because think about it. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any. Nothing will change. Even the fact that Germany, as a country, doesn't produce that much of this whole climate thing than the rest of the world is. But of course, everyone needs to move, everyone needs to change something, and everyone needs to work on it. But this glue thing, I will show you, doesn't bring anything. Yeah. So the politics isn't that unimportant in Germany, because especially now, we have a time in Germany where politics called AfD, Alternative for Germany, is getting more and more and more followers and people, and these are more of a like the right side, you know. These are more of the, you know, extreme side, if you know what I mean. Like old Nazis and all this stuff, you know, just like that. And these are getting more attention in the last few months and years because of COVID happened and all this stuff. And our politics that are working right now doesn't do their job perfectly. So they get a lot of attention because the people are scared, the people are unsatisfied, worried, and so they say they will do it better. They will do it better no matter what. They will do. It's the same thing as last time, 1940. I don't know. You know, remember, before Second World War. It's the same thing. They just saying the same thing. Yeah, we will do it better. We will do that. But everyone knows that as soon as they would have any kind of right or any kind of it would be a huge problem. So a lot of people fighting against this. Yeah. So there is really going a lot right now in the politics in Germany. But the thing with Germans is they don't really want to talk about it. So that may be why you didn't really recognize it. People normally don't talk about it. It's a thing in Germany that people don't say to each other which politics they choose. Yeah, which party. That's a thing. Second thing in Germany, which don't know is talking about is money. How much money everyone makes. Is that a thing in Kenya? Do you talk how much money you make?
Yeah,
People talk. Yeah. In Germany, it's like I don't know. It's like no one.
Secret.
Yeah, it's a secret. I don't know. It's the one rule. You don't talk about money. I don't get it. It's like I'm telling everyone. Of course, not here, but if someone asks or I know someone, I tell them.
Actually, do you buy this? Like,
No, that is not the case. Like how much you make on a job, that is more important. Like and not like you don't talk about how much you make on a job. Yeah, that's some kind of a thing. I don't know, but politics very important, especially right now, very important, and yeah. So that's a huge thing. Yeah, about the food, I need to agree. I would say every food outside of Germany is a lot better than this one here, but it depends. It depends, as you said. So you started your career as an acrobat. Some of the people who are watching may know them. Otherwise, we will show you some part of the acrobatics right now. And how did it all started? When did it start? How did it start? And how do you became an acrobat? And what did you do before you were an acrobat?
wonderful, wonderful. So, I used to be very active when I was young. You know, jumping. You know, climbing trees and trying to. You know, all the marks. I have this mark over here. I was trying to put a stool on top of the other and like jump and slipped and fell. So yeah, I used to be a very active kid when I was young, and you know, that activeness developed into, you know, wanting to, you know, to jump. And you know, when you have a passion of something, when you're passionate about something, you sort of join groups of kids who have the same passion. Yeah, so at a very young age, at around let's say 14 years, that was like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 years. I started teamed up with young friends. Yeah, one of my young friend is actually John.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Yeah, he's like, you know, we started the group together, and so in my neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
it was a very active neighborhood, with kids, doing somersaults, jumps, running. I was very active in sports. So it started like a childhood, fantasy. You want to see who jumps high. You want to see who does the best flip.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a competitive lifestyle with your friends, with your and the whole thing just came into being. So there used to be a big ground. You know what a quarry is.
No, what is it?
Where they dig rocks
Uh-huh.
and they leave a big hole in the.
Yeah.
So there was this big quarry in my neighborhood, and it was abandoned, grass all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to meet there with some of my young friends, competing, like, I can do many flips than you, I can do. So every weekend after school, you come from school and the first thing you do, you just change and run to this quarry. And I used to get in trouble with my mom and my father. Like, you haven't done your homework, you're out there jumping like a crazy person. So from school straight to the quarry, competing, come back in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom is waiting for you. Where have you been? Like, where have you been? And you have to answer questions. So you get some beating, but the passion there.
Yeah.
Come back and you're like, John beat me today. I have to show him tomorrow. So the whole thing just grew and grew. And by the time I finished high school,
Mm-hmm.
I went to college. This thing was still in me.
Mm-hmm.
I finished high school. I went to college. I did my university degree.
Mm-hmm.
I like
With one, what was your primary plan with the college and the study?
actually, I actually became a teacher before.
For real?
Yeah, I was a teacher. I finished college and I taught for like a few months, and I was like, no, this is not my thing.
Yeah.
Then I quit.
So you teach in Kenya?
Yeah, I taught high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was teaching maths and
Okay.
physics and chemistry.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I was like, I cannot do this. I need some action in my life. So I quit the job. Went back to that quarry area. By that time, there were so many groups and teams, because the thing had grown in my neighborhood, and everybody was like, I want to be an acrobat, I want to be this, I want to be that. And so I came back, met up with John. John was also like, doing the same thing. And we formed this group in the year 2006. Yeah, and we became very serious with it, because by then I was really good. I could, even in my high school years, in my campus years, I could still do jumps, I could still do flips, do handstands. I mean, it is something that had grown in me. And so I felt like, I need to do this thing. I cannot just let it go like that. Yes, I'm good in maths, I'm good in chemistry and all these other things, but I also need to do this.
Your passion.
Yeah, I need to follow it.
Okay.
And this is why I am right now.
Okay, so you started 2006, you said?
Yeah, 2006, we formed the group. We used to have a different name then.
What was it?
So the Pamoja.
The Pamoja.
Pamoja is like together.
Okay.
It means together. We were like seven guys. Yeah. So we formed this group with a mission to take over the world. But
and you had some shows back then?
No, we had to train. We had to train everything: the stunts, the show, while of course copying other teams, checking shows, other shows, and trying to visualize. We didn't have a trainer or any choreographer. We did everything by ourselves, simply by watching and copying. Sometimes copy, pasting, copy, edit, paste.
I see.
Yeah, so we copy, we change a little bit, and we kind of come up with something of our own. But it hasn't been easy. It took from 2006, 2007. So we started 2006. 2007, we had our first deal in Israel. No, not Israel, Oman, country called Oman.
Oman, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an oil-rich country. Yeah, the Sultan and all that. Yeah, and and from Oman we went to Israel for 3 months. Our first trip to Europe was in 2010.
So all this without manager, just
without manager.
Okay.
Without manager. Of course, before that we had there was this organization back in Nairobi that is called Sarakasi. It's a very good organization that helps artists, and it's the one that actually brought up the acrobatic movement in Nairobi and in Kenya. And it's run by a Dutch lady, and it's helped a lot.
Okay.
Because it exposes artists, Kenyan artists to Europe, to international events and stuff. Yeah, so it's a long journey, but we kind of fought our way through. 2007, Oman. 2008, Israel. And then came back. All this time we're training, we're changing the show. 2010, the Netherlands. And then we also went to Russia for a week or so, for some competitions. We've done so many competitions before.
You've won some?
Yeah, we've won. We've lost some, but it's the spirit of competition. You win, you lose, but it was amazing. And then we, of course, we got a manager at last in the year 2013.
The one I used to.
Yeah, the one. Yeah. So we got an Italian manager back in 2013 through the Kenyan organization called Sarakasi. Yeah, and it was a good Italian manager. He brought us to Italy. We did some shows, some tours around Italy and all that. And, some circuses, gala shows and all that. And through his shows is how we ended up coming to Germany. Yeah, it was one of his shows that, one of the German producers called Harald came and, he saw us and he was like, hey, can you come and perform in Germany? Yes, we can. Yeah. And so from the year 2015, we've just been coming to Germany all through. Yeah, every year. Except Corona time.
Except Corona time.
Yeah.
And you told me yesterday, 2016, you left the manager, right?
Yeah, we parted ways with the Italian manager because we also wanted to differences here and there, but we felt like we wanted to go our own way, and we ended the relationship. So 2016. We were on our own, so we've been managing ourselves ever since. Yeah, ever since. Yeah.
And are you happy about it still? Was it a good choice?
Yeah, it was a good choice. It was not easy managing yourself because you have to market yourself, you have to communicate with agents, you have to write all these emails and calls and follow up on contracts and all that.
But you have done it before.
Yeah, and it's been amazing. It's it's not been easy. I've learned a lot. You make mistakes along the way,
Yeah.
but you get to learn as you move.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been great since 2016 till now, managing ourselves, marketing ourselves, and of course, Mr. Edwin here. Yeah.
What did I do?
I mean, you've been, with all the videos and the marketing. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, you've done a lot, man.
Bit I have helped.
It is not. It's not a bit. It's a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great.
Hmm.
That's a great story, and it shows and it proves that working on your passion is always the most important part. But even if that's of a small chance to achieve your goal or your dream to be an international artist as you are, there was this kind of a chance, and you took it, and you quit your job of being a teacher, which I didn't know before. You didn't tell me. And going this way and just living your dream. Really impressive. If you didn't saw the show of the Jumbo Brothers, you need to watch it. There are clips on YouTube and other stuff. You have some clips on YouTube, aren't you? And otherwise, you need to find them on the world tour, maybe on Facebook, and find where they are performing their show, because it's pretty impressive what you do. I know your show now since 2015, and I'm still impressed when I see what you do. And I mean, you told you are getting older. Yeah. You're getting older, like now 300, 400 years. Yeah. I see. And it's impressive what you're still capable to do on stage. And I think you got like one of the main acts, or the main act, in the Kleines Fest in Hanover, which sadly goes to an end this year. But maybe we'll see each other on different festival in Hanover or something. But the last 8 years, you got like a main act. Some people in Germany just came to see you on the big stage performing your show. Which is incredible. We are talking a lot about your life in Africa. I want to especially go on this part of your life, because I think it's important. You told me when you go back, you can't really find a real normal job there anymore. And that's because of there aren't really jobs in Kenya and in Africa. So I wanted to talk about it. You told me you feel like a bit like in prison, a bit like lost. What is it up with that? Like what? How is your daily life in Kenya?
Daily life in Kenya.
Yeah.
Well, it's that's a good one.
I mean, you told about
yeah.
the good stuff and
Yeah.
all the nice stuff you have achieved.
Yeah.
I heard a lot about the hard life.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, the life in Kenya is, as I told you, is different. And when you're looking at the economic aspect, let's talk about jobs. Because in Germany, you can have maybe 2 or 3 jobs. You can say, okay, I'm going to work very hard and find 2 to 3 jobs and sustain myself. But in Kenya, currently, the year 2023, it's not easy to find a job. And well, being an artist, your income is not every month. Like you have maybe 3 months working and 4 months not working. So you have to budget yourself. And if you don't have many shows, like for us, we only do shows in Germany, and currently we're not doing any shows in Kenya, very few, because of many reasons. The conditions and the pay, the shows are not many in Nairobi, and the pay is also not good. So it's not easy for an artist to survive in Nairobi. And like let's say, when I say an artist, I mean an acrobat. An acrobat. If you're a musician, it's different.
Yeah.
But being an acrobat, you have to really plan yourself. So for us, for example, it's let me talk about myself.
Yeah.
Like the money that I make from these shows, I have to budget it for the remaining time. Like if I make the money that I make right now, I know, okay, my next show is in December or in October. So I have to, you budget yourself. You say, okay, I'm going to use this and this. I'll pay my bills and food and all that, like give to my family and all that. And so it's a routine. When I say it's like a prison, you're in this prison whereby you are stuck in this routine of, you're constantly watching your bills and your spending, and it's always a balancing act. You have to eat, you have to pay your bills, you have to do all these things, while at the same time looking for shows in Europe. Because as I can say, like Germany is the best paying place that we have currently. Because in Kenya, there are not many shows that you can say, okay, I can go to that show and I can do this and that. From an acrobat's point of view. So you wake up in the morning, you have to train. I have to train every day. Not every day, but of course, like 4 times a week. Wake up very early. Sometimes I go for a run in the morning. I come back, shower, and you're working with the money that you made in Europe, budgeting yourself, trying to, balance everything here and there. You go for this run, you come back, you shower, you make some breakfast, you eat. And then sometimes we get to meet as a group. So of course we like meet for 2 hours, maybe 3 times in a week.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 times in a week for 2 hours in the morning. Yeah, we meet, we go for a run, and then we do some, some rehearsals here and there. And so you have to train. You cannot be an acrobat and not train. And you cannot be an acrobat and not, mix it. And let's say it's easy to combine things, but being an acrobat is very different because you have to live a certain way of life. You have to eat different. You have to, drink different. You can't just be living a normal life. I'm not saying that you have to be like a monk, a Shaolin monk, but yeah, something close to that. So it's always a balancing act. When I say going back to the point of a prison, so you are in this prison of this acrobatic lifestyle, and then you're also in this financial prison where you're always balancing your books, your accounts, your money, and that in itself is not easy, given the conditions in Nairobi. Having you, of course, every one of us in our group wants to have like a a side job or something to generate extra income. But as we speak currently, it's very hard to get something, and I will be lying to you like, oh, I have side like. So the rate of unemployment is very high in the country, and
how do these people survive?
well, it's a mystery, and it's a mystery, and people survive, and there is the issue of donations and food donations and stuff. But having no job as an artist is I'm lucky. I get to come to Germany and perform, but we have artists who haven't had the chance to go outside and travel and do shows. So these are the people that I personally I pity the most, because they always have to train.
Yeah.
They always have to train. If you stop training, then your show comes down. You become not very effective. So yeah, I would say it's not easy, but we do the fight. We do our best to make ends meet. Yeah.
Okay, crazy. I think most of the people watching the podcast can not even imagine how it would be to live in such a country and in such a world, especially as when you know how different it is, and when you know the good parts of our life here in Europe. So I can imagine how it is for you, even harder, coming here and living like a really good life, having everything and taking the most of it with you to your home. The moment when you started talking about your morning runs, I was thinking, how is it in compared to Germany when you run here? Is like, how is your view at home? Is it because I've never been there with the nature. You told about the culture and is it more impressive, or is it better? What can you say about the view, the living, and the environment?
Yeah, let's talk about the environment. The different environments.
Yeah, you've told me about some lions that are coming.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's very normal in my city. Lions roaming around.
Yeah,
but
yeah, we had a lion running in Berlin last few days.
Yeah, I saw something on TV.
And on the end, they found out it's a pig. So yeah, I don't know, Germans and
they could not see. They don't know lions. You don't know how lions look like.
Usually we know.
Yeah.
But somehow someone saw a lion.
Yeah. And he thought it was.
And on the end, they found out it's a pig. I don't know. I don't even know. Yeah.
That's right.
So how is it?
Yeah. So
you told me about lions. You told me about the nature. How?
So let me explain to you about the nature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say you're taking a run here. I see people running in streets here. Do you know why we are the best runners in the world? Because of the nature. We have some crazy terrain, crazy hills. I mean, the heat, running. So here, everything is like flat. But flat and organized, and everything is straight, and you have to follow this line and this. But from where I come from, it's rough, rugged, and raw. Like everything is rough. You go to these hills, dust. You jump a river. You have to climb, and it's like being in a Survivor series, when you're going for a run. So it's, and also the air. The air here is clean, but from my place, it's there's
Would you say is it cleaner or?
okay. The city is not. The city is not very clean. But when you go to the countryside, yeah, it's more cleaner, and the terrain, the hills, the heat. So you're running at a very high pressure, like with all these holes and hills and valleys and rough terrain. Being like running in the jungle and running in the mountain. It's that kind of experience. So it's different. It's different, and yeah, I would say it's when you of course when you come from Nairobi and come here. There was a time we were in I think in the city of Aachen, and we went for a run. Some very long stretch. I think some few kilometers, like 4 or 5, and I was like, "What is this? Like, are we walking or what?" But I mean, it was fun. So it was fun. So there's that difference in terrain, and of course here you cannot find a cow roaming the streets, whereas in my city we have that culture of you just meet somebody with a bunch of a group of cows. I don't know how you call
Cows.
yeah, it's like grazing cows, dogs, cats,
You have that, of course, on the countryside, yeah.
even in the city, in some sections of the city.
Germany, we have these things, of course, on the countryside, yeah. But in our big cities, yeah, we keep it outside. We keep it clean inside.
Okay, I would say also in some sections of the city, not okay. There is that center of the city. Of course, you cannot like find a cow in the center of the city.
Yeah.
But yeah, in these outskirts of the city, you can find all sorts of things. Dogs, cats, and so you're running, and you have to encounter all these things. So it's a different culture on perspective altogether. So
Okay,
different.
and most important because I was really wondered when I found out, because I was thinking when you hear Africa, of course it's a continent, yeah.
Yeah.
And Kenya is more in the southern, somewhere to the right.
Yeah, center. Yeah.
Center to the right, yeah. But it's near the water, isn't it?
It's near the ocean. Yeah.
Near the ocean.
Yeah.
I always thought when you think of Africa of dust, of sand, but you told me it's a very green place.
Yeah, it is. Not all places are green, but most of the sections are green. I'll tell you a funny story. Most of our oranges are green.
What?
Most of our bananas are green. It's not like
Oranges?
yeah.
So what do you call them? Greeners?
No, I mean it's strange.
The oranges are green.
Yeah, the lemon.
To show me a picture.
What about lemons?
Yeah.
Your lemons are green?
We have lemons. Yeah, we green lemons. Yeah, and yellow. How do you call them? Lemons as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, most of the places are green. So Kenya is of course Kenya is just one country. Africa is huge.
Yeah. Of course.
What somebody in Nigeria is experiencing is different. If I sat with a Nigerian here, it will be very different. Like, of course, some things are common among the African continents, but some things are also very different in terms of culture and how people talk, how people perceive things. So, yeah, we are next to the ocean. The big Indian Ocean. There is in Mombasa. Yeah, I think you've heard of Mombasa.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big city that is just close to the ocean, Indian Ocean. And of course, Nairobi is in the center
Mm-hmm.
of the country and not very far from the sea. But yeah, there are different sections. There are places that are green, the places that are like it depends with where you are. Like places around Nairobi are green.
Mm-hmm.
Nairobi, the central areas, but when you go to the north sides of Kenya is very dry.
Okay. Yeah.
And also we are, in the border of Somalia, and
Mm-hmm.
Somalia, there is like war in that country. So yes, some of those areas are also not very safe in terms of Al Shabaab
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
attacking and all that. But generally, the country is green. The country is green. It has a warm climate, and it's not like close to the equator, like the equator runs. So we have like here right now it's winter, it's summer, right?
Yeah, we have summer. Yeah. In the
Right.
time where you have winter.
Yeah, it's
But
like
your winter is like 16 degrees.
yeah, winter is not very.
And when we have winter in January, February, we have like minus 5, 0, minus 5
Yeah.
around that.
I don't know how you survive. How do you survive in those temperatures?
I mean, it's. I mean, even 0, minus 5 it's warm. It's warm. Like, of course, it is not really warm, but it is. It's not really cold. Of course, there were temperatures in the past that were much colder, and of course, me as a snowboarder, I know temperatures around minus 10, 14 degrees, and that's the point where it's getting really cold.
Minus
14. 14, of course. Minus 40 would be. I'm no. Without me, no. I'm out of that. No, minus 14. Well, that is where it's really getting cold. If it's 0, of course you wear some clothes more, yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. Now we have summer, 20 degrees outside. It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot for us. We had some higher temperatures last week in Munich, 38.
38.
Yeah, 38. We are melting. Yeah, we are melting. Yeah, there are some days, weeks in Germany as well where it's getting a bit hotter, around 38, 39 degrees. But yeah, it's not so often. You told about some unsafe places in different countries, and I was wondering because there was one time I had guests in my apartment coming from Asia. I don't know especially what country, if China or Japan or something. But you know how it is. The information from country to country from the news are different, and you never know who to trust, and you never know what is the truth. So the best information is from someone who lives there, and you know how the life is here in Germany, so that you are safe. In the past it was different. With different skin, you would be treated differently, and especially me and a lot of people are very happy that this changed. And especially in Germany, we have changed a lot. Even marriage for gay and lesbian people is accepted and is a very nice thing. We had a show yesterday from Sasha Korf, where there was 2 daughters sitting in front of the stage, and Sasha Korf, Sasha, asked the girl the name, and asked like, "Who are you with here? Yeah, who is your parents?" And the little girl said, "I'm here with my mom and my mom." So she had 2 mothers. And Sasha was so blessed. He was like, "Oh my God, what? You have 2 moms?" And the little girl was like, "Yeah, I have 2 moms." And they were so proud. And so everyone started to clap around the stage, like hundreds of people, to see this in real life that we as humanity evolve to this position, accepting everyone's love, accepting everyone's life, and you are one of these persons that accept it as well, as you told me. But of course, it isn't. You are not the biggest part in Kenya with your acceptance. You told me it's still very strict, and I've heard of friends who've been traveling. I think not even to Kenya, but different Nigeria or other countries, where as a white woman or white person you are not as well accepted as people from there. So I don't know, like the history is changing the point of view. Like back in the days, in Europe, you had it really hard on America as a black man, and right now we have some kind of the view that you as a white person have a really tough life when you are in some countries, maybe in Africa. What would you say? Is it safe to visit a country? Is it safe to live there? Is it safe for you? And how is the general perspective? Because these people that visited me were terrified. They came to Germany from China and they were terrified. They were asking me, is it safe to go outside? Is it lighted up? Like, is there light outside? Like, can we go, or is it not safe enough? Or how is it? Because of maybe the news and fake informations, all of these countries that where it's not so easy to leave. It's not like in Germany where you get a passport and you can travel everywhere you want. There are countries, especially Kenya as well, where you just can't leave as easy as we do. And they really asked me if it is safe to go on the street and all this stuff. And I was wondering, like, what do you mean? Is it safe? Like in Germany, it's one of the safest countries where you can go on the street, do whatever you want, as every person, because everyone is accepted. Of course, there are people that are a bit stupid and that are a bit, a bit wrong. But most of the people doesn't share the hate, of course, and are not criminal. What is your perspective in your country about that thing?
Well, that is a good one. That is a good question. I like you. I like your questions. You're good.
If you like it too, here to the other episodes of Gedankenmixer. It's really important. We will go through this in German after the interview as well. So listen to it. And yeah.
Yeah. So I think I'll start with a small story.
Yeah.
The first time we came to Europe, the first time, I think it was around 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the guys in our team, when we are at the embassy, of course we have to get the visa.
Mm-hmm.
For us to come, we have to get the visa, the Schengen visa. So one of the guys in our team at the embassy, he was like, are we going, this was back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
The
13
same
years ago.
the same question that you asked, like, are we going to be safe?
Yeah.
Are we going to be okay there? Yeah, and the lady at the embassy was like, yeah, you'll be okay. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
No problem.
The people listening to the podcast will remember how it was 2010 in Germany and Europe.
Yeah. So, it was really... and at that time, I was like, why are you asking this question?
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, I was like, it's safe. It's the Netherlands. It's Europe. So, But I think he had a point, maybe from his experience, from what he had seen in the news. So later on, he was like, you have to know these things. You never know. You could be going to a place where you'll be, killed, or anything can happen if you're of a different color. You have to be sure. But the lady at the embassy was was very clear. She was like, you'll be safe, don't worry. I mean, it's safe out there. And yeah, when we came to the Netherlands, it was okay. We did our show for a month. It was good. It was good. Same for foreigners coming to Kenya. We are very accepting of foreigners. We like visitors. Of course, as I say, not everybody is like me or you. We always have people who are different. Like, why are these people here? Like, this is always. But I think the message of change and acceptance is growing. There are more people. Those people who don't want other people are less compared to the people who are open to visitors. So in my country, it's quite safe for foreigners visiting. Of course, if you're the only challenge for white people, let's say foreigners coming to my country, is when it comes to the businessmen. Like like if we go to buy, if I am with you, and we go to buy a shoe, and it will be like, okay,
10 times the price? Or
10 times I'll buy the normal price. I'll even, our culture, we bargain a lot. We always bargaining. We go to the shop and you're like, okay, how much is this shoe? 50? I'll give you 30. And then we go down and down. And then we reach to a point where we all agree. And I'm like, oh, I'm leaving. Oh, I'm going. And then the guy was like, oh, wait. And so it goes and goes, and it.
That is a huge uncomfortable point for German or Europeans as well. You would never do that. Like, there are a lot of cultures.
Yeah.
I've heard of how do you say Turkey?
Turkey. Yeah.
They want to do it as well. When you go on the market and you see a carpet or something, and then you try to get, how much? 100? 80. And they don't want to sell it to you unless you just try to get the right price.
Yeah, that is like our.
In Poland as well. And Poland as well, it's a thing. I don't know, maybe it's a thing in a more poor country.
Yeah.
I think in Poland as well. As a kid, I was growing up in Poland in holidays, and that's the same thing. Like, you went on the market, you see some kind of jacket, some kind of pants or something, and you see the price, it's $50, and you tell him 35, and he says 35, we can do 35. So you say 37. And so you go on, and on the end, as you said, well, then we leave.
Yeah.
Okay, we do 38, and it's okay. And the price was 50.
Yeah.
So I understand it. But it's in Germany, you would never see that kind of business.
Yeah, and for us, it's strange. You walk into a shop and you walk in with that mindset, like, okay. But then it hits you out. This is Germany. You have to just like what is written there is what is. So in our shops, what the price that you see, that is not the actual price. The price is usually lower than that.
So they do. When
course.
They see a white one, they still have this feeling white is rich.
Yeah,
so the price needs to be higher.
Yeah, sure. In most shops, in most maybe of course it's all business, but still it's some people take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And with the white people, most of them they don't have the skill to bargain. Like they're like, okay, it's okay, I'll just pay.
Yeah.
But if you're with me, you will pay. You will.
As yesterday.
Yeah,
half the price.
We bought a wine for half the price, right? Yeah, last night we bought three glasses.
3 glasses
half
for
the price. Yeah.
12 12-year-old instead of 24.
Instead of 24. Yeah, so it's a thing, but generally whites and foreigners are very safe in my country. The only challenge is I think we are still growing in that space is the issue of like gay LGBTQ plus community. It's something that is evolving with time, and at the moment, it's not really openly accepted in the society, but these things take time and they grow with with time. Like it's just like
as they did in our country and environment as well. Right?
Yeah. So I would say, it's not something that is openly accepted. Like you can't be very open about it in my country.
What do you think will happen if a man would kiss another man in the middle of in Kenya, like just on the street? What do you think will happen?
Do they want to die? Like, no, I'm not. Of course, I'm kidding. But it wouldn't be well. I mean, it would not be a good.
Yeah, the people would like.
It would not be safe for them.
Okay, I see.
Not be safe for them.
Will something happening aggressive, like?
Yeah, like I say, it wouldn't be safe for them in terms of the looks. In fact, the looks itself, they look like laser eyes, and some people are also aggressive. They can turn violent.
Okay.
And like, so it depends.
The politics and the police, would they do anything, or are they?
No, I heard your story about. There was one story that you were telling me about people gluing themselves on the street. And so my question to you was, what were these police doing to these people? They were just
watching,
talking to them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Of course, there are different stories. I will show you in a moment. There.
Because my case is very different. It's
But so what? The police would do anything if gay people would kiss each other?
Of course, the police will not do anything because the police are there to protect people, and so it depends with where that thing is happening. If it's maybe some rich neighborhood, or like, it all depends with the class and the place and the context. But generally, if it's an unsafe place, then even the police will not be able to help. Because we have the culture of mob justice.
What does it mean?
Where if you caught stealing in the streets, the people will kill you. They will beat you and kill you right there. It is very common even if you watch on the internet, YouTube, you'll see. And the police are usually helpless at that time because the people are so many trying to, so that is very risky for you to do that in an unsafe place, a very crowded and a place that you cannot be protected. So there is that culture of mob justice where people just take the law in their hands and they say, okay, if he was caught stealing, people just deal with him. And at times the police try their best to help this person, but the people, the mob, and it's very hard to like arrest everybody and say, oh, stop, no, don't. And so that culture of people taking the law into their own hands has kind of made people to be scared of doing certain things. You cannot just, if something is not accepted in society, you're like, okay, let me chill, let me lay back and not do it. So I think it all depends with the place. and the area that you're doing it. So for the gay community, it's I will say it's work in progress. It's something that is going to take some bit of time. And also, we are very religious. There is the issue of culture and our customs. There are 43 tribes in the country. Every tribe has their own traditions.
Yeah.
And mixing all these things up. There's also the issue of the church. We are apparently more religious than you guys. So we took everything from so it's
in Germany, it's a number of 2022. Have been counted 500 over 500,000 people that left the church, the religion. Over 500,000. I think it was around 500 or 700,000 people that left the religion. But that's a good point, because I think this non-acceptance of this LGBTQ plus community is mostly born of the religion. I think we see the same thing in Poland and in such countries where the church has a lot to say, especially in the politics. So there's the same thing, and Okay, but it's nice to hear from you that it's safe and that it's possible to just visit the country and do vacation.
But again, you have to be, of course, not everyone everywhere is safe.
Yeah.
To go the places to visit. There are some places that are very unsafe. Like, for example, me, where I grew up was a very unsafe neighborhood, and it was not. It is one of the most notorious neighborhoods. So we came from this. So I know what I'm talking about. I've experienced both worlds. I've experienced heaven and hell.
But just to clarify, just to make sure, Edwin and your group and your family isn't a part of the whole unacceptance and the part of
no,
forbidding the LGBTQ.
No.
Just to make
yeah. Like my team, even for me, I cannot say that I these things take time. You you grow in a certain way, and you're like, hey, you get to accept, and it reaches a point when you see it as normal. Like you don't view it in a different way. Like, hey, so it's I would say that I reached a point where I've reached the the epitome, like the place where I am at peace with everything, and with even my group is at peace with everyone, and my family as well, back in Nairobi. So as I said, the people who are more accepting are growing more than the people who are. So we are becoming more than we're becoming more. Yeah.
Very nice to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. That was pretty amazing to hear. Thank you so much for that, Edwin. There were some really important messages and important information. When you want to hear something more, or you have some left questions, you can write us on Instagram, Gedanken_im_Mixer, or you can write us on the Q&A here on Spotify to message Edwin, and we will transfer these questions straight to you, and we'll answer them in the next episode. Now, after the interview, we will talk with Maxime in German of this story you told us, just so everyone else can enjoy and understand what we just talk about. And yeah, huge shout out to Edwin and the Jumbo Brothers. If you want to bring the Jumbo Brothers on stage, you can contact us as well, and we will make contact. Or you just search Jumbo Brothers on every social media. You will find them. It's an amazing show and amazing people, as you see. And yeah, thanks for coming, Edwin. Is there something left you want to say to the world, to the people?
That's yeah. It's a pleasure to talk to you. I mean, my friend. It's a real pleasure. Pleasure. I mean, what I would say is that the world is changing. The world is definitely changing, and the way we viewed our world 10 years ago is not the same way we view our world today. And many of the the stereotypes and the perceptions are quite changing. And like we said, everything is changing, and let's just have that positivity in everything that we do. But before how much would you sell me this laptop? How much?
It isn't mine.
But I mean, we have to negotiate the price. I mean, yeah, but anyway, I thank you. We will talk about that after this. Okay. Thank you for having me.
Okay, perfekt.
Ja.
Okay, Leute, wenn euch das gefallen hat, dann checkt, wie gesagt, noch weiter aus. Wir gehen gleich mit Maxim in die Runde. Und dann würde ich sagen, hören wir uns beim nächsten Mal, wenn es wieder heißt Gedanken im Mixer. Great. Thank you, brother. Thank you.